Hello once again, everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of the RedMancunian podcast. This week we will be discussing the 0-0 bore fest that was the Chelsea game.
You say bore fest, I say tactical masterpiece. We'll also preview United's next match against perennial mid-table strugglers and prolific t-shirt manufacturers, Liverpool. So, welcome to episode 4 of the RedMancunian.com podcast.
Good to be back.
Good to be back, yeah, it's been a whole week. With us, Craig.
Hello.
Tomo, you're back.
I am back.
Hey, welcome back, Tomo.
Thanks, guys.
Due to popular demand, you were missed.
Yeah, my mum, she really was quite emotional. I wasn't on last week, but she's away now in Spain, so she probably won't listen.
Right. And a new member, Pride of All Europe's, Jay Motti.
Hi guys, thanks for having me on. Not just an honour from an equal opportunities point of view, but also a personal one as well. Thank you.
When something happens in South Central Urmston, nothing happens. It's just Jay dead.
I've no idea what he's on about. I'm going to add that.
But yeah, Jay, you're from a different website, aren't you? You're from the prideofalleurope.com. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it started.
Yep, that's enough. Okay.
I'm going, seriously.
We'll make a t-shirt, don't worry.
My favourite story about you, we were all in the pub before Newcastle on Boxing Day last year, and you'd been out to some little shooting in Wigan in the morning or whatever with your day job.
Yeah.
not the recreation.
Just me and my gang.
Straight out of Urmston.
Right, and my mate was there. Do you remember you met him, Ed? And he doesn't come to football. He lives in London now. He was back for Christmas. And so he met you, and we were walking over to Old Trafford for the Newcastle game, and he turns to me and goes, that Jay, he's a really nice guy. And I went, yeah, he's a good mate, And he goes, he's painfully Mancunian, isn't he?
You can never be painfully Mancunian, kid.
And he meant it in a nice way, but it does sum you up.
It's a wonder, no wonder my radio career has failed to get off the ground.
Yeah, because if you don't know, Jay does work for Key 103.
No, he doesn't. My boss will be like, what are you doing? We like both sets of teams on Key 103. So leave it on, he won't listen to it. No one does.
Oh, brilliant.
I have to put up with this, right, every game.
Well, let's not even start about who has support with what. Seriously. I'm grateful to be here after the Chelsea game, but we'll move on to that later, probably.
Yeah, you both sit next to each other in Jay's stand, don't you?
Yeah, we
Jay
do.
stands
Your second season together.
Yeah, this is it. We got
Second
through the
season
first
syndrome.
one. Yeah. We're still talking to each other after a season, so something's going okay. Put it that way.
Well, brilliant. That is everyone. That's Sam, Craig, Andy and Jay on this week's show. We'll move on to the first subject, which is looking back to the Chelsea game.
RedMancunian.com, your weekly United podcast.
So Craig says Borefest. I say intriguing tactical battle. Tomo says
Thank you. Thank you to the Glazers. Something I never thought I would say.
Hang about.
Right?
Here we go.
Get ready. Tomo's going on a rant.
Has got any music for this?
Tomo's rant.
So basically, what I want to say is thank you for not employing Mourinho. At first, I kind of wanted him, but then I might have told you this in the past. Mourinho, for me, is like this girl I went out with once. I
heard this on Monday night. He's very proud of himself for this whole analogy.
She gave me 2 great years of, let's call it fun, but left me a broken man, owed me thousands, cheated on me. It was emotional. That's how Mourinho would have left us. However...
You're only 14.
I wish. However, one thing that I will say was Mourinho's tactics using the Arsenal FA Cup final tactic against us, you remember? Playing only one striker, Arsenal did, but it was Bergkamp, it was in a hole. Mourinho thought, no, I can outdo Wenger, I'll play no strikers. It was dull, and that is what Chelsea have got to look forward to, so thank you for not employing him. We may have Dave Sexton II, but thank you for not giving us Mourinho. Thank you.
Oh, strong words. First of all, I just want to say I'm grateful that I made it out of Old Trafford alive on Monday night after sitting next to Tomo, who flitted between giving Wayne Rooney abuse and then abusing all of J-Stan for sticking up for Wayne Rooney. So it was.
I'd had a few shirts.
It was a bit of a scary moment where we had everyone sort of looking at us as Tomo called them all idiots. But moving on to the football, yeah, we just sort of fell into Mourinho's plan. He played for a 0-0 draw, and we sort of went along with it for about an hour. There was little moments. I think people got a bit overexcited with how well Rooney apparently played. I thought he played okay, but I don't think he created that much. And I think it was almost inevitable it was going to be a draw after about 10 minutes. Nothing really changed as the game went on. We had 1 or 2 chances. Danny Welbeck, rare miss from
Mr. Welbeck,
the greatest player in the history of association football.
You see, we got rid of Nick this week, but we got him.
No, yeah.
Do you know what? I was
Deputy
gutted I went on
bandwagon.
after the Swansea game. Me and Nick could have just had such a Danny Welbeck love fest.
It would have been 40 minutes of you just
It would have.
holding each other and like crying of just joy.
But yeah, like someone said, it was boring, and I'm not going to jump on the I'm so glad we didn't get Mourinho bandwagon just yet, because if I'm honest, I wanted him, and I can see what you're saying about the fact that he probably would have left us after a couple of seasons, but we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But it was pretty dull, but I left the ground not too disappointed, if I'm honest.
He plays games though, doesn't he? Like Mourinho, this could all conceivably have been. Firstly, like a love letter to Rooney to say, look, I haven't got anyone and you're not even here. So, come here and you're going to get this role every single week. And secondly, a bit of a message to Abramovich to say, look, hang about here, give me some money because this team's toothless.
That's what I spoke to a Chelsea fan after the game, and that's exactly what he said. He said he thought the reason they went without a striker was purely for Mourinho to give Abramovich a message that we need a striker, and whether that striker is, I think it's Samuel Eto'o they've just signed.
Yeah,
I don't know. It probably was
like
we need
$5
Rooney.
million on a 1-year deal, haven't they?
I know. It could be another George Weah. That's what I'm hoping.
Is
Anyway.
Interesting. You spoke to a rent boy after the game.
It was part of one of my many day jobs. Not,
right.
I didn't just go looking for Chelsea fans.
Looking for rent boys.
Hello, can I talk to you?
I don't need to go looking for them. I sit next to one.
Hey. I think going back to Rooney though, it's basically the English definition. That's a bit unfair on the guy on the other side.
Oh no! He follows me on Twitter.
It's
Leave him alone.
The English definition of basically man of the match is that Terry got the Sky Sports man
Couldn't
of the match.
believe that when he heard that.
Just because
that's ridiculous.
It's
That
what
is
they
a
do,
joke.
isn't it? Steven Gerrard, Wayne Rooney, John Terry, Frank Lampard. They always get man of the
Illuminati.
matches.
Yeah.
Just so Sky can talk to them, and it's like, it's the English. Boom, Rooney. He did that one good thing where he ran back, did the
tracked
tackle,
all the way back. Yeah,
and I kind of raised a.
No, hang on a minute. I remember clapping that and going, great tackle, and then looking at you and putting my hands down because I was scared because the look you gave me for giving him any praise was enough to send me into shock.
What
So
did you think of the atmosphere and the reaction that Rooney got?
I thought the atmosphere was great. Well, not great. It was good. It was a lot better than it usually is, and I thought
It was
the
good for
reaction
the
he
first
got.
half
Yeah.
hour, I thought. Because I sit in J stand as well with you guys, and it's one of those, it's going to be turned into the singing section if things go right in the League Cup game against Liverpool. But the atmosphere was good for the first half hour.
Yeah.
I'll tell you where it was good.
in the theatre.
The place to be.
East here too. No, because Mark and I were starting some chancel there, and I came out of the game and we met at the Trinity statue after Craig, and you actually complimented the atmosphere up there. You were like, they started a chant. And I was like,
Yes.
yeah, we did.
Stand up for the champions. You always do that. Oh my god!
Shut up.
There's a singing section. Anyone, if you're listening to this, come and follow me on Twitter, right?
Oh,
Wait,
God.
hold on.
God.
No, hold on.
That is
We're going to
followers.
do a grumpy section. We're going to sit there and we just go, because that's basically what I
That's what
look
you
up
do
and-
anyway.
Yeah, everyone's standing up for the champions. I'm like, oh god.
What? Why are you angry with that?
I just
I
Why
don't
did
stand
you
up
not-
when that goes down. Even if I wanted to, I wouldn't.
I like it.
I'd probably
when-
not getting chinned.
It's just like the old game, innit? Anyway.
So
I was
what do you want to
curiously
do? You want to sit there for 90 minutes with your arms folded and we score and you go, jolly
No.
good goal.
In fairness, I love a good sing song.
You do it away games.
Yeah, I
mean,
love it.
Jay, does he sing?
I do.
Yeah, he
At
does.
home,
he does.
does he?
He hums.
He sort of splits between singing and shouting at people. It's like having Tourette's. Someone with Tourette's, he sings and then he shouts at other fans for doing something that upsets him, like standing up and for the champions or singing praises for Wayne Rooney.
If you look around, basically where we sit, there's a lot of old school J standers. We've been there for years, and when everyone was chanting for Rooney, like Rooney, and all that, there was basically about 5 of us, and there were 5 blokes around who've not moved for about well, we've had our season tickets for like 20 odd years, or in my family, 20 odd years. And you could just see us all with our arms crossed, looking around, going, what is going on? What is going on? That's my opinion on it. And I got a lot of abuse on Twitter for saying that why are we just giving him such a good reception? But hey, that's how I feel.
There was times when he went a bit over OTT when he did something remotely okay, and everyone was going berserk.
But it's
there was
twice.
times when it was a bit
like
embarrassing.
a 5-yard side pass. And
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
Oh my God, look, he's
It's
passed
like,
to one of his own team.
yeah.
Wow.
Come
But
on, let's
he
get
has
carried
come
away.
out now and publicly thanked the fans for their support on his Facebook.
Oh,
Well,
no, I think we've got something about this, have we?
I've got a Tomo theory about this.
Hang on a minute.
Wait there.
Tomo's theories.
Oh, hello.
Got it done for you.
Hello.
No expense spared here.
Oh, thank you, darling. Right. Basically, he didn't clap much, did he? I think there is a picture of him clapping, but when he came off the pitch, he didn't really clap the 4 areas of the pitch, so to speak. And then I think he's gone back and he said, "Oh, Paul, Stratford, that is, they've given me a good reception, like." And
That's uncanny.
Yeah,
that is like Wayne
Yeah.
Rooney just walks
Yeah.
into the
And
building.
basically, everything, I've said it before, he's a puppet. Everything is orchestrated with him. That whole Facebook post, orchestrated. He can't do anything without permission, basically. I know that British football is not allowed third-party ownership, but Stretford owns him. And the fact he thinks, well, I can't clap after the end of the game because Stretford will shout at me. And that's how it feels with him. It just feels as though everything is orchestrated, and I'm sick of the circus. Sick of the circus following him. I'm sick of how he's like the agent basically just
Are
demands.
you going to share your theory that you had during the game about his performance? That you said he knew what he was doing when he shot and he got saved? Remember that little theory? He knows what he's doing, as though he deliberately didn't try to score. That was one that I was hoping would end quite soon, and it did.
Right.
You forgot about that little theory.
I'll level with you. I had about 10 pints.
I thought this is going to be a long 90 minutes if he's getting on this one.
If there's
But
any one
fortunately, he
United
forgot.
members listening and they get allocated a ticket in Jay's stand, they're just going to rip it up. 'Cause nobody will want to sit near you.
In the grumpy section that's starting.
Oh, do you know, I'm a happy soul, really.
It's
If
funny
know
you should
me.
say that about Stretford, though, because Jay, like, we went out for lunch, didn't we, last
We
week?
did. In Hale, I
we did.
hasten to add. That's
Yeah.
just how we roll.
Took you out to Hale.
You did.
Middle class Reds.
And we were discussing Stretford then, weren't we? And
Yeah.
I read this article from a good few years ago now with Andy Mitten, UWS owner, and he was interviewing Andy Cole about Stretford. And that he just wasn't favourable with that at all. And then I read a similar article from Stan Collymore, who was saying, again, Stretford, basically not a nice person. So it's history repeating itself again, and it is clear that Stretford is the one that is, in fact, orchestrating. I don't know what orchestrated is.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry,
but
guys.
he's orchestrating Rooney's responses here and there. And it was telling when he put that Facebook post up about England, wasn't it? When he'd said nothing about United for ages, and he was like, England's amazing, so great to be picked. Yeah, of course it is.
And
like
supported.
you care.
And he said supported.
It's
But he's
just-
still got like his picture of him in his England kit, isn't it, on Facebook? I mean, I don't know. I'm only saying that because the picture kept getting retweeted. I mean, I said it last night. I'm going to MySpace anyway. I'm sick of all the me and Tom from MySpace are just going to go chill out there, have a
don't
chat.
go. Don't do that. Don't be like that, please.
Do you know what?
Come back.
I love that you're old enough to have enjoyed MySpace the first time around. I bet you're just reactivating your old account.
Yeah, still got it there.
I
You and Tom and
remember
a few
signing
others.
up for it, and this guy, Tom, kept emailing me. I was like, this is a bit sinister. Then realised he set it up and he's now a billionaire. I thought he was a mate.
Were you disappointed when you saw his mates with everyone else? Like,
Yeah.
he cheated on you?
Basically,
Only
just
you
saw-
close, Tom.
Basically. Yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
going back to the Chelsea game, United had 52% of the possession and 13 shots. But the one thing we haven't discussed, Atkinson missing the Lampard handball.
Oh, why was he put in
Michael
charge of
Carrick.
that game? I think that was a
absolute
bit sort of,
travesty.
yeah,
Mm.
bit like, Fergie's retired. We'll put Atkinson back in the Chelsea
Yeah.
United games now.
Michael Carrick away at Chelsea, ball crossed in, similar handball given. That his hands are up,
And
aren't they?
Yeah.
And he gave a handball. Was it Oscar? He gave a handball against. Was it Oscar? One of the Chelsea lot when it hit his chest. Not long after that as well. There was just no consistency at all. He's just a terrible referee.
Yeah.
He is a terrible ref.
But 0-0, fair result.
Yeah, I think so. The one plus point for me, I know Tom was going to love this because he loves this player, was Tom Cleverley. I thought he had one of his better games for quite a while, to be honest with you.
Credit where it's
He
due.
did. He did.
I actually say
impressed.
the 3 players I'd single out would be Evra, Cleverley and Rooney from that game. I am. Carrick as well.
I
thought.
I thought Cleverley played really well.
I do. I thought like I said, one of his best games probably for over a year.
On the other side of things, then, I thought Phil Jones didn't have a good game through no fault of his own, though, because he's not a right back. It's getting painfully obvious now that he's not a right back, and I enjoy watching him play centre back, and I think he's good at it. But like the Jones in Valencia was a car crash at times, and when you've got Danny on the other wing, and Danny's been played through the middle for the whole pre-season, done really well. He's scoring for United, scoring for England. Then he's shoved back out on the left. And you could tell he was wanting to come in and get those kind of balls that he'd been getting all the way through pre-season. So the width of the team just wasn't really there. And if you play through the middle against Chelsea, that's where they're strongest because they're a very narrow team anyway. So it fell into the inevitable stalemate. And it's telling when Ashley Young comes on and within 2 minutes has put in like 2 half-decent
Ashley Young,
crosses.
great player.
Well, he's not. But how good was that flick over the fullback when he just flicked it and turned it? I think me and you actually did jump up going, woo!
Yeah.
Quite giddy about
Not
that. We did.
And then one of the old gits, he sat next to him,
Yeah,
stood
said,
there
"Tomo, what are you
shaking his
doing?"
arms. Tomo, sit down.
Come on, you're letting the side down. I thought, going back to the Valencia Jones thing, I thought Jones wasn't helped. Valencia kept stopping and trying to get Jones to get involved when he didn't need to some of the time. There was space there. He can get past Ashley Cole. We've seen him do it before. And he kept waiting for Jones, and Jones would come in, and some of his passing was a bit dire. I think he suffered.
Maybe he's struggling to cope with the pressure on the number 25 shirt.
Well, yeah, I didn't think of that.
We're going to try something different now on the RedMancunian podcast. We're going to try and take a live call into the studio. So without further ado, we'd like to welcome Paul from the United Rankcast. Hello, Paul.
Hello, chaps. Thank you for having me on the show. Ed doesn't know I'm here, so if he asks, just tell him I was trying to bring down your show from within.
Great to have you on the show, Paul. What did you think of United's performance against Chelsea on Monday night then?
Look, it was not a brilliant advert for the game of football, as they say. Gary Neville said after the game, this was like how he remembers the games between the big sides, and it did have a kind of throwback feel to it. Gone as this brief return to crazy swashbuckling football, which I think now we can all put down to Alex Ferguson being profoundly D-mob happy. Very sort of defensive setup from Chelsea, not much more exciting from ourselves. Moyes made great hay of the fact that he had 3 centre-forwards on the pitch, but he was only playing one of them as a centre-forward. And I suppose the biggest talking point out of that game, very naturally, was Wayne Rooney and his performance, and I'm sure you've covered it in some depth, the crowd's response to it and all that. You guys were there, so probably got more useful things to say about that. Although I said to Nick on Twitter, I quite enjoy the fact that, United fans are like being the bigger person to the point of derangement. It's like, you just do what you like, we're just going to keep cheering your name because you have been good for us for a long time. And, in a way, I genuinely, when Mourinho said afterwards, I think this is a special club, I think he was kind of intimating special needs. But it's a special bunch, United, and I did wonder whether the home crowd was going to start losing that a bit, but no, the response to David Moyes, the relentless cheering of Rooney, this is a very unusual situation, and Rooney's performance was talked about a lot, and a lot of people really effusive. I've seen him described as having an excellent game, and I just feel like people are blinded by his capacity to run around, because he definitely had a committed game, he definitely looked like he was up for it and into it, but he made really bad choices with the ball a lot, and it's kind of rush of blood to the head stuff, which is very understandable under the circumstances. But I think he had a good game at best, and he was extremely effective in the 2/3 where we need him least, and not quite so effective in the third of the pitch where we really want him to do his damage, and hopefully he'll get that back, because it does look like he's now going to stay. But yeah, 0-0, reasonably fair result, although We could have nicked one pretty easily. Really sad to see Danny scuff his one glorious opportunity. I think he just didn't realise that John Terry had fallen over behind him. But if he thought about it for a second, surely he would just have assumed that John Terry would have fallen over.
Great stuff, Paul. Looking back, we can take it as a good point after Chelsea parked the bus. But looking forward to this weekend, how do you think we're going to fare against Liverpool on Sunday?
I'm hoping, Craig, that was a bus fare joke with park the bus and how will we fare against Liverpool. Well, I think it depends on how we conduct ourselves on the pitch. Really, we need the driving force in central midfield to be effective. We've got a ticket to ride.
It's a Tomo joke.
I'm out. The Liverpool game is, they've started the season. Oh man. They're just world beaters, aren't they? They've won 2 games 1-0. This is their year, lads. It's their year. But, they could definitely do us some harm. I don't really know what to read into the state of United at the moment. I think watching the Chelsea game just leaves me feeling like we're one central midfielder and one winger away from being, really magnificent. And it could just be that somehow one of our wingers steps up. Ashley Young was really effective when he came on at Chelsea, which you don't really expect. But anyway, I have no idea how it's going to go against Liverpool. I haven't watched any of their world-beating performances yet this season. But you'd think that we probably have too much firepower for them. But I slightly thought that about Chelsea, and they actually handled our strikers really well for the most part. So who knows? I mean, one thing I really, really, really sincerely hope is that we see Shinji Kagawa brought on and start to be integrated into this Moyes team, because it really felt like the game was crying out for him against Chelsea, and he didn't. Ashley Young got on ahead of him, Ryan Giggs got on ahead of him, Rooney started ahead of him. All these things which would make me a bit annoyed if I was Kagawa. I'd kind of hoped up to now that it was to do with pre-season and fitness and all that kind of stuff, but Ashley Young's had less of a pre-season than he has, and he got a run out. So anyway, back to the Liverpool game. Yeah, this is my least favourite fixture. Everyone loves it because of the rivalry and stuff, but I'm a great big hippie, so I like it when we all get along, and I don't like the kind of hatred that goes along with the Liverpool fixture. So I just hope it passes off without anyone getting stabbed, And that Patrice Evra, he's going to get booed for being black quite a lot, which is really unfortunate. Hopefully the football bit of it will lead to phenomenal triumph for the beautiful forces of truth and goodness that are Manchester United.
Fantastic stuff, Paul. Thank you very much for coming on this week's podcast.
It's an absolute pleasure, chaps. Thank you very much for having me, and I really enjoy your work, and it's fantastic to, I'm going to be a regular listener to RedMancunian, and I really look forward to when we can do this in person. See that? Totally just invited myself.
Excellent. That was Paul from United Rantcast, which, if you don't know by now, is another Manchester United podcast available for download via iTunes, and we all highly recommend it.
Yeah, very much so. Okay, guys in the studio, let's crack on with the next subject, which is Liverpool away on Sunday.
The Manchester United Podcast by RedMancunian.
Tomo, Liverpool away.
Sorry, I was just getting ready for a bit of minute silence.
No.
Just Liverpool.
Sounds controversial.
However, I realise it's a minute's applause on Sunday for Shankly's 100th birthday. So
happy birthday, Shankly.
Yeah, fair play to Liverpool for that. In fairness to Shankly, he actually loved United, didn't he? In fairness, him and Busby
Moyes
got
loves
on very
Shankly,
well.
doesn't he? Keep banging on about him.
Oh, does he?
No, it just didn't impress me.
Yeah, Liverpool away. In fairness, they've started well, haven't they? They won 2 games against 2 nearly relegated teams, 1-0. Which, in fairness to them, they probably would have lost or drawn last year. Brenton he's going to be on Football Focus, I think, on Saturday, probably spreading his gospel.
Comedy gold coming up.
I can never predict these games. The last few years, obviously we won last year, but how many times have we turned up and just given the limp display, been played off the park? They've wanted it more than for us.
It's their cup final, isn't it?
Yeah,
basically?
it is.
And it always will be.
Well, that's because we went through a period of playing 4-4-2, like ridiculously away against them year after year when they were putting 5 in midfield. It was like glaringly obvious Like that terrible 3-1 defeat. Like I was there for that one, and it was that was just. I mean, the mistakes that Nani made, in that game were criminal. But overall, we were just overrun from the first minute in midfield, and I can't believe Fergie didn't see it. But then we've been without a midfield signing for a good few years, so maybe he just has a little blind spot there.
Well, it's like what Paul said, wasn't it? We're a midfielder and a winger signing away from being a great team. How many years have we been saying that? And yeah, we've won the league, we've won trophies, but we need that midfielder, and it's for games like Liverpool away that we need that domineering midfielder.
I know what you're saying, but surely they're there for the taking. Surely we should be able to go there and win. I mean, I know it was the League Cup and it was Notts County, but they played quite a strong team the other night, and they were, they couldn't beat them over 90 minutes. They finished 30 odd points behind us in the league, and they haven't got their talisman idiot Luis Suarez. And that's me being nice about him. I could say a lot worse things than calling him an idiot. We control Dean Sturridge, and they're almost toothless.
I mean, that's
Daniel Sturridge.
That's what Dean is with for Derby.
Dean, tell me he's there. Hey, control Dean Sturridge, then don't worry about Daniel.
He's their main player at the moment, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
Sturridge. With Suarez being out, and that Coutinho. Coutinho looks like a very good player.
Tell you what, though, they've lost a part-time footballer, full-time car salesman, Colo Torre. They're to injury, haven't they?
And also, the diet pill king.
No, they were his wife's, mate. Come on.
Oh, yeah, he just happened to be throwing down his throat and then stopped taking him, and his arse just went, basically.
Yeah, so they have problems in defence. Jamie's retired now. So he's making a
and
mock
Sky
of
Sports is
himself
the better for it after
his
immense analysis on a Monday night.
It is awful, that, isn't it? If we're going to talk about it, I mean, Gary must be...
Well, they can't get anything right, Sky, can they? When they do get something right, they have to ruin it. But yeah, that's another story.
I did hear, though, that he's actually getting paid almost triple what Liverpool would have paid him just to go and do that. Like,
really?
For Sky Sports. Yeah, Sky are giving him such a big contract that he just turned around and went... And basically loads of dogs came coming over because he's only audible for dogs. But basically just went, well, what's the point of continuing?
It's a big market, the canine market for Sky.
Well, they got BT really, coming now. They got to try
they're really
new markets.
To it,
It's a 39th game.
All these dogs, and yapping at the TV, going, yeah, Jamie, you're talking perfect sense.
I just hope we don't.
Back to the football.
I just hope we don't gift Gerrard a goal from a free kick or something, which seems to be an annual event.
Or a daft penalty or something like that.
Get out of the way in the wall or whatever. He always seems to get an easy goal against us. But I definitely think we could. It's a game we can win, and it's a game we should win as well. And I think it'll silence some of the doubters with Moyes if he can go to Anfield and get a win with us.
I've got a bet with a lad that works for me. He's a Liverpool fan. And
a fully employed Liverpool fan.
I know, yeah. Worse than
Shock horror. Are you doing your bit there when you say he works for you?
Yeah, I've actually employed him.
Does he like wear 1980s clothes?
Is he on a tag?
Keep banging on about the history.
Does he have to leave work at 5:30?
Anyway, so we got this £20 bet. He reckons that Liverpool will be higher in the league table than United on the 1st of November.
Ooh. That is the easiest £20. Oh,
for him.
1st of November. I know it's a bit.
1st of November. Looking who we've got. Palace.
He looked at our start and he looked at their start and he said to me, and obviously I couldn't have it. So straight away I was like, mate, 20 quid, and this game will go a long way to making me 20 quid richer if we can rob them of the 3 points.
Definitely. You're shaking your head there, Tom.
It's just our game. It's the one we really struggle at. We have quite a good record at Tottenham away. We have until dodgy times the last couple of years, but we've always done well in the derby. It's just we never seem to nail the. It's basically like the 80s in reverse, wasn't it? Is that we used to go to Anfield.
You would know that.
Yeah, we used to go to Anfield, play well. But they'd be winning all the cups to trophies, so to speak. now when we were winning trophies, they'd be the ones who'd get up for this game, and we just could never get up to go to Anfield.
Even last season, I know we won, but
We
that
got
wasn't
battered,
a nice game to watch, was it? And I never thought that you'd be cheering when John Joe Shelby got sent off because it turned the game for you. But yeah, it was pretty dire. It's something needs to change, and I think this is the time to do it now. It's sort of Moyes can stamp his authority on it and show that we're up for it.
And we got him in the League Cup as well.
Yes.
Come out in the midweek, got him in the League Cup at Old Trafford on Wednesday the 25th.
You'll be moved, Sam. They'll be
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
it's
theatre.
stand-up go.
Yeah, they won't
I'll
let
be
me sit in
spat
my
on
seat
in
for
J
this. So I fully expect them to move me into my own executive box. Just me and Mark stood there with some canapes.
We'll probably give him, 9,000 we give him last time? 9,000 up in stuff.
I just remember because I was living in the flats then by the ground on Warwick Road.
Before you moved for love.
Yeah, Jesus, let's not go into that. Anyway.
No, let's go on. Tell us more about
so
this.
basically,
Mrs.
don't
Tomo,
forget
if you
it. So
listen
they'd
to
been
this.
kept in after the game, and then this came down Warwick Road, and next minute that was it. It just started singing proper Munichs and started bricking our flats, broke in, smashed loads of windows, smashed loads of cars. It was like, I don't know if you, I love my hip hop. And I've got NWA to do that song where this woman's ringing up the police going, they're in the house. I'm going to level with everyone here. That was me. They're in the flats. Like that. The police going, oh, sir, hold the line. I went, I'm not holding the line because I'm coming right to my door now. And basically and then next minute the police are coming, there's loads of people, and it was just going off everywhere. Police strolling down, right? And then, yeah.
I'm surprised anyone noticed any kind of damage to Warwick House because it's like a rust bucket, crap old flat apartment complex anyway.
Lovely flat that was.
It was a nice flat, wasn't it? But the outside bit is... The balconies are all rusted.
Needed a good liquor paint. It really did.
They were probably trying to just recreate the scene from around Anfield. Have you ever seen the houses around there?
Yes.
They're all like broken windows and sort of boarded up, so... Makes them feel at
But the Liverpool fans, they ruined the East Stand toilets. They were throwing seats down into K Stand.
Yeah, they've got history for throwing worse than seats, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a few sites.
Feces.
Last time the FA Cup, I was near them, and that was the site. Say no more.
Yeah, we'll move on from that. But yeah, we've got them again, so we've got a good few, Liverpool, City away, and then Liverpool again. It's just crazy.
It's
Good
good
away
to have a
days.
League Cup game that you can get up for, though.
Yeah, that matters.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
the
if it was
Glazers will be happy because it will sell out.
Well, that's what counts.
Yeah.
if it was going to have to be a home game, which I think we were all there as season ticket holders going, please make it away.
But I reckon we're the only fans in the country that pray for away
Yeah.
fixtures
Yeah.
on cup games because one, we may get a ticket because more tickets are given out and we can all go and have a good laugh all day. And two, just because we can't be bothered with that. Oh no, here we go, 39 quid coming out of my account again.
Yeah, for Crystal Palace at home.
Watch the reserves.
Or Newcastle when they best fans in the world trademark bought about 500 last season. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
There's only a few of them, weren't there? But going back to Liverpool, Jay, score prediction for Sunday.
I'm going to go for 3-1 United. I think we'll go for it, and I think we'll get a win.
Andy?
I'm staying out of it. I'm sorry, I can't. I don't want to say it, but I'm not got good high hopes for this.
No, why do you think we'll lose?
I just think our midfield is so powder puff in a game like that. We'll just get battered off the pitch.
Michael Carrick.
Yeah, but he can't do it on his own. And I know Clever had a good game.
The quietest whisper ever, like, Michael Carrick!
You know how much I love Carrick.
He's going to stick Gerrard in one pocket and Coutinho in the other and
there is a
dominate the game.
recurring theme here, which I had an argument last season with that person who slagged Carrick off. So, I'm one of his biggest fans.
You are.
So, Sam, how do you think our powder puff midfield will do?
Well, given they don't have their top striker and they're struggling in defence, I've got high hopes. So 2-1 again.
Yeah,
Barini's
I'm in
I
the same
thought
boat.
may as well just phone in some 2-1 predictions for every game for the rest of this season.
Sam, I thought Barini was coming back.
Oh,
dear.
Oh, that's the kind of comedy that made us friends.
But now I'm confident as well. I'm going to go for 4-1.
Oh,
yeah,
go
gone
on.
for one of them.
Come on, lad.
What did you go for last week? Didn't you have 3-1 last week?
No,
didn't
I
you?
had 0-0 last
No,
week.
you didn't.
I've got them both right.
Yeah, of course you have.
Yeah, no, I went for 3-2 last week.
With Evra first goal scorer, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm going to put on Evra every week to score first. He was 40 for 1.
For one. What was
For
it,
one.
cricket?
For playing cricket, eh?
All those Australians are taking on the French now. Watch the oval pitch. Topical.
He was 40-1 with William Hill.
There's a reason for that.
There are
though,
other
mate.
bookies available.
To be fair, the bookies aren't stupid. I used to be like with Wes Brown. I used to stick money on Wes Brown first scorer at every game. And then
That's why you're
game
now
I didn't
living
do.
in a
Yeah,
bed
that's why I'm tapping my mum up for money every week. Spend it all on Wes.
But no, yeah, any listeners out there, do put your money on Patrice Evra. I haven't got shares in him or anything. But Patrice Evra to score first on Sunday.
And to win the one day 2020.
Yeah.
On that note, let's move on to the next subject, which is the Champions League draw.
RedMancunian.com.
So the Champions League draw has been made during the week. We've been drawn against Shakhtar Donetsk, Bayer Leverkusen and Real Sociedad. Lads, what do you think of the draw?
Well,
mouth-watering.
I'll just follow on from the scouse busting because, to be quite honest, it is a scouse busting draw. You got Sami Hyypiä, manager of Leverkusen. You got John Aldridge, the man who loves to have a little speech outside Anfield.
Oh, he's the worst.
The first stat for you, or trivia, the first ever non-Basque player to play for Real Sociedad, John Aldridge. And then you've got Shackham, as in sack 'em all, Scousers.
Oh, God. You're doing well there for a bit.
That is
No.
awful.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first fixture of the Champions League, Manchester United are home on Tuesday the 17th of September against Leverkusen. So a good start.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game you can sort of get up for, isn't it? You know, and a game you expect to win as well, and it's a lot better than I think that's probably the best game out of the three we've got.
We own
home.
one. We own one as well, don't we, for knocking us out all those years in a
Yeah, I
semi-final.
remember
when
that
our
home and
name
away.
should have been on
that was awful. That
Yeah.
wasn't it? Especially the away leg. But
That's
yeah,
the one where Keane said that there was a player in the lineup, and there's been rumours who it could be or couldn't be. It was shaking, during the actual anthem.
what for United?
Yeah,
What with nerves?
yeah, basically. 'cause
Probably from nerves from Keno.
Yeah,
Probably
basically.
Keno looks at him and his legs went to jelly.
a bit like me looking at you, and you go to
Yeah, when
jelly.
I start trying to cheer Wayne Rooney.
Yeah, he could cheat on you, and you'd still cheer him.
Oh, well, he's no Danny Welbeck, put it that way.
So pretty impressive with the Champions League draw. Moyes has escaped the big guns really, but for us fans, a trip to Bilbao. We'll have us a good time in Spain, then Germany.
Well, let's hope. Yeah.
Yeah, let's get
Yeah.
those tickets booked.
I'm sure by the time we actually finish recording this podcast, it'll be £1 million to fly anywhere near where United are going. But we'll do our best to sort that out there.
And to the Ukraine. So
I just think after, not last season, but the season before, we just got... I know it's a cliche, but you can't sort of just assume, oh yeah, we'll breeze through this group, because we saw what happened.
Yeah,
a
I'd hope
couple of
Moyes
seasons ago
wouldn't.
where it was just a disaster.
I would hope Moyes wouldn't do that because it's new to him and it's important to him and both to the club financially and to his success as a manager in this new era to establish that he can handle the Champions League, because that's the big question over him, really, isn't it? David O'Gill came out before he was appointed and said, we're going to appoint someone with European experience, and then
he's played
you
a couple
can
of games.
fit
Yeah, he had 2
Villarreal.
games against Villarreal. So.
you can fit Everton's Champions League highlights on a 3.5-inch floppy disk. It's like, but he still got the job. So
Yeah,
this
definitely.
is the proving ground for him. Really, he did well in his first test against Mourinho. Toe to toe with a double Champions League winner, and now this is his next opportunity to prove himself worthy of the role.
I think it's sort of game he'd enjoy as well, a Champions League game. He likes, sort of thing he gets his teeth stuck into. It's all tactical.
Yeah, he's going to be leaning on Giggsy as well, isn't he? He said, and it was quite interesting. I pointed out to you, didn't I, that during the game, we did have a laugh about it, but during the game, the one coach who was stood with him was Giggsy. For a good 5 minutes, wasn't it? Next minute, Giggs comes on.
Yeah, Giggs is whispering in his ear saying,
you should
you
get
need to get Giggs on.
Get that number 11 on,
Game's
Giggs.
crying out for Giggs.
Need Giggs, that young lad, Giggs. But he's obviously going to lean on him for the Champions League because he's the one of the coaches and bit of Pip Neville with the experience, in it. Because Round
In
and
it.
in it, yeah, Round and
Are you
Luke
not happy
Carpenter,
with Jimmy Lumsden?
The what? Sorry.
Are you not happy with his European credentials?
Didn't he wreck Leeds in the 80s, our Jimmy? You know what I mean? Which
Well, we've got to give him some
Jimmy.
credit there.
Agent Jimmy.
Brian
That's
Kidd-esque.
good.
I kind of think you're my Jimmy Lumsden to my Moyes.
Oh,
What?
Well, after his
You,
theories
Sam,
last week.
After his theories last week, you're like kind of, when I'm not here, you'll step in Jimmy-esque and take what I start off with, like with a Fellini, to that.
So that was the fun-filled 4th episode of the RedMancunian.com podcast.
Enjoyed this one.
Did you?
Yeah, it's quite good.
Well, we
nice
got
to have
the-
you here, Jay.
Yeah,
Oh,
the,
thanks.
the bickering kids over the away at the table.
We'll be arguing about this at Old Trafford next time we sit next to each other. Can't believe you said that to me.
Yeah, I will. He's dead.
So as ever, you can subscribe to this podcast on iTunes by searching RedMancunian. And in addition to subscribing, you can, of course, leave us a review. All reviews are gratefully received.
Yeah, that would be nice. And if you do like it as well, do let us know on Twitter. Jay, what's our Twitter?
What's your Twitter? RedMancunian.
Yeah, that's correct.
Thanks.
Well done.
And I'll
the
see
test.
you all over at MySpace with me and Tom.
Yeah.
We're waiting. We'll have some Campari and soda.
We'll be back next week.